like they show the whatever it is, the thing that they stole. They show themselves pictures smiling without masks. I mean, they do that. I mean, again, it's crazy, but sometimes you can't expect much circumspect activity from criminals. They do. They also take videos of themselves as if they're proud of it. And you find these on their cell phones. You find these selfies. You find these selfie videos of their crimes. Like selfies of themselves sneaking out of a bank after robbing it. I mean, really. Anyway, you might also find videos on these mobile devices that show that they've been illicitly taking videos of people when they really in their private moments. Like you're not allowed to use these videos to use a video camera, for example, or of course a cell phone that can take videos, like to put it on the window so you can see them what they're doing in their bathroom. I mean, nobody wants to have videos of themselves picking their nose, right? I mean, so your privacy is legally guarded. So if they have videos of other people doing private things like picking their nose, singing a silly song in their homes, this will incriminate the person who took the video and the person who owns this the cell phone. Also, if we know they're guilty, if they know they're guilty in some other way, we take their cell phone and we look for their contact lists. This is very often how we find other criminals. It's also done for when we capture terrorists. We have their cell phone. One thing we're going to immediately do is look for the contact list of these terrorists. This has gone on and is going on as we speak. We also might see that they have their own personal calendar and appointments, meaning where they mark down what they're doing, to remind themselves they've got to do the certain crime on a certain day. They do that, yeah. Also, they have an internet history of incriminating websites, like whatever it is. Let's say they want to plant a bomb somewhere, so they have and they're going to access the internet from their cell phone. So they may have a lot of long internet history of them visiting websites that teach how to make bombs. So again, this is evidence that we use with their mobile device. Also, we want to know if we can actually track them and actually find them at the crime scene. There is a GPS location history that a lot of these cell phones will naturally log and keep. So we will actually see where they were. For example, a cell phone naturally tries to find out where, whether there's like a cell phone receiving or sending place nearby, like in a Starbucks. There's it's possible to get onto the internet in Starbucks. So they'll immediately say, hey, I know we can get on it. Whether or not you get on it or not, they'll immediately log this. So we can actually locate a person at a certain time. And if he claims, I wasn't there, I wasn't there, I was at my home, and we see on his cell phone that he was in a Starbucks right next door and his home is 2 hours away, we know he was lying. So we can get something from their cell phone. We also, if we log the location naturally, or we can actually find out where the crime might have been done if we know they did a crime, where they might have buried the body. The cell phone might have a GPS location history indicating where they were, and we'll follow that, and we might find where they buried the body, or where they may have some other bits of evidence. There are special problems when it comes to mobile device forensics. A lot of this information might be noticed as similar to what we can get from a computer, but it's different. Mobile devices forensics is very different. Because we basically know the more or less three types of operating systems that computers use. There's Windows, there's Unix, and there's the one that Apple uses. So again, there aren't that many. But when it comes to mobile devices, there's a lot of different operating systems. So a person has got to be proficient in a lot of them, not just one. There's also constant RAM change. In computer, there might not be that much if the computer is dormant. But mobile devices are almost never dormant because they constantly check their GPS in case you want to know where you are, so they should have it ready. Also, criminals, then they know their cell phone is in the hands of the police. They can remotely disable their device. So trying to get data from it might be a lot harder than a computer. It's very hard to remotely disable a computer, but it's really easy. These mobile devices are designed so that someone else can know where that mobile device is and actually access the data there and remove it. So, in fact, for that reason, we actually once we get a mobile device, we immediately put it in an isolation container. It's called a Faraday box. It prevents any signal from outside getting in, including signals that will cause the erasure of the memory. They do put the paint cans they use for fire evidence. They put the ashes so we can find the accelerants. They can sort of work against this remote access, but really you need a really good Faraday box that will definitely isolate it. There are those who actually argue whether that does much of a job at all anyway, but that's a separate subject. Also, if you keep the cell phone long enough, it'll shut down because it won't have a charge. Once it shuts down, you may have no access to the thing at all. The investigator has to have several different chargers available, ready to charge it up, so that doesn't happen if you want to keep it on. Also, sometimes the cell phone itself, if it knows that someone's trying to break in with the wrong code, and it tries, let's say, 4 or 5 times, the cell phone may say, okay, there might be a feature in there saying, I'm deleting all data. I know someone who's not the owner is trying to get in. I'm deleting all data just in case. They do that. So this can be a problem. If we get someone's cell phone and we don't know the code and they won't tell us the code, we got to be aware of what kind of security systems that they have, so we don't just immediately try 4 random numbers. Then you'll lose everything. So these are special problems involving mobile device forensics. That's over that of computers. Okay, this is a brief lecture, but just because there was these topics were generally something that is beyond the scope, but just to introduce the idea of certain things that are going on. We should know about what hacking is, how it damages, and how they're caught. Also understand what kind of evidence you can get from mobile devices. And also the fact that mobile devices have to be considered a separate topic because of the different aspects of forensic investigation of them. For those who have the textbook, you can look at these homework problems about the subjects that we just dealt with.